Good morning or good evening. Mine have higher vibrations, and so are you. And it's been a incredible energy day. I don't know how many of you have been following the KP index, but we've been having some energy coming in, and a lot of us are feeling it. I've been so amazed by how many people have been reaching out lately. So if I've missed your messages, and please write it to me again because I'm getting so much coming in right now. I'm so excited though to talk to my guest today. Uh, that I feel like you're my sister. Like we talk so much, and it's been so much
Yes.
fun to connect and kind of move through this. Um, Layla Wind, she's I want to introduce you, but I don't even know how to say. I feel like I've known you forever. Um, the kind of gentle and loving energy, but there's like clear divine order in a lot of the things that we do. It's just kind of feels like sometimes when you don't know, it's like a guiding line. You know, sometimes you'll have like a string that guides you across the river. Sometimes I feel like you're like that in our conversations. And so that's how I experience your energy. And I just want to say thank you for agreeing to join us today and to be on the show. How are you today?
Mhm. I am always wonderful connecting with you, dear sister Mela. Thank you so much. I love you dearly. You're such a beautiful soul of peace and harmony, and those are the type of spaces I allow myself to be in. So I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
I I actually was hoping that we could cover because it dawned on me a couple of days ago. We've you and I have come on the show a couple of times together, but we really haven't explored what is it that what's your world like? Like what do you do? How do you do? And because there's a lot of different modalities that you have access to and that you've just really been fine tuning for quite some time. Like you've been doing some of these things for how many years now?
Oh my goodness. I would say definitely my whole life since a child.
Wow.
Before I even knew anything about spirituality or before I knew anything about ascension or all these, spiritual terms like 144,000, Christ consciousness, it's just very innate. It's like you said in the beginning, it's divine order and
Yeah.
it's also my soul's blueprint. So, yes. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's
me. Yeah, since I was a child, a baby. I've always thought different. I always thought outside the box. Um, always never resonated with this world, right?
yeah.
This matrix, because in my heart and soul, I knew this is not how it's supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say same. Like that's I think that's something we all have in common is that we know on some
Mhm.
level that it always felt like, I remember telling stories when I was about in my early 20s and and people kept saying, "Are you going to call your book that?" Because most of my stories go, "This is happening," and then there was me. Because
Yeah.
there's always and then there was me, like just like you, the observer going, "Why are you doing that?"
Right. Seriously. Like
Yeah.
this is not of love. This is not of peace. It's just out of order, right?
Yeah.
It's not a win-win. But yeah, just more about me, just in a nutshell. And of course, we'll unfold it as the
Sure.
conversation continues. But yeah, I consider myself just in a being state, and hence the be, right?
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
really learning not to attach to too many titles or descriptions of self. And I know why people do it because we all have our own unique soul blueprint.
Yeah.
But I'm really learning to remember and embody the beingness, because to me that's where it all comes from. Like the true divinity is just in the isness, the beingness, the presence. It
Yeah.
just is. And I'm just allowing, and I'm realizing a lot of our gifts, a lot of our innate gifts, a lot of our intuitive abilities come from no longer having to try to figure it all out, try
Yeah.
to force it, trying to understand it. I get why we do. That's part of the human nature. But of course, as we both know, it's the inner standing, right?
Yeah.
And that comes down to, and that's why we go through so much duality in life, is so we can sit down and look at self. And when I say sit down, have that moment of stillness, have that moment of introspection. And yeah, just living for me, my whole blueprint is holistic health, intuitive abilities, self-awareness. Like one of my biggest gifts to humanity is to help people have more discernment,
Yeah.
more intuitive abilities to be able to see past not only what people are saying, what people are doing. You know how they say actions speak louder, but I say energy speaks louder,
Yeah.
you know? Not just your words, like what are the energies behind the words? What are the energies between the words? So that's a lot of my gift
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well. Yes, ma'am.
You're good at reading someone's soul.
Yeah, yeah. And you get good at that from reading your own,
Yeah.
learning
That's
to, well, yourself. We have to learn to, and I used to tell my friends this all the time, like I can see you because I see myself.
yeah.
I can see my own BS. I can see when human human nonsense, so to speak, the
Yeah.
duality. We can see it. And I always take full accountability. That's huge. So I'm really good at helping people to see self, also to get the ego out the way. I'm really
Yeah.
good with working with the shadows, the covert ego, because it's one thing when we think of ego, we think of obnoxious, kind of narcissistic type of people, but you can be very much in your ego and be the most mildest, quietest, sweetest, kindest,
Yeah.
most loving, so-called conscious.
Right.
All of these things, right? The covert ego. So I work in that realm as well. So yeah, I'm a jack of a lot of trades, but yeah, mainly holistic health, working with abundance energies in terms of an emphasis on dance. Dance is the root word of abundance for a reason,
Mhm.
but dance is really a sacred practice that people have been doing for not just to show off and show off their moves.
Yeah.
It literally is a channeling state. It's a way of moving our body. It's a form of light language as well,
Mhm.
the dancing and form of divination. And yeah, just again the beingness, connection with the divine, connection with source, connection with our oversoul. So that's what I'm all
Yeah.
about.
I love that about the dance. I feel so much like I all of what you said though. That one I've just been coming up a lot lately. There's
Hmm.
something about that is more useful. I don't know if that's even the right way to say it though. Uh, there's more persistence on this on spirit's side to share that message to whoever's listening.
Yeah,
Dance, play. See, we want to move and we want to play. How do you combine those two? Dance. It's the celebration of the
absolutely.
body and soul at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That creativity, because you're really merging, you're tuning into the rhythms and the cycles of the universe through the
Yeah,
movement. We can find our rhythm, when we can learn to just be again that beingness and to connect with the breath and to tune into the body. A lot of us, we really don't know how to listen to our body and to just even allow. That's
yeah,
another thing, is like to allow the spirit, the energies to move through you as you. And the next thing you know, you're creating sacred geometry with your body.
yeah,
You're creating a vortex of energy, a portal, if you will. When I did a retreat in Peru a few years ago, and I was teaching an abundance ceremony outside, then next thing you know, we looked up, we created a sun bow. And I think I was telling you about that. We
yeah.
looked up, there was a rainbow around the sun, and it wasn't there when we started the
Right,
abundance ceremony. But somehow through our vortex of energy, we were able to shift the cosmos, shift the energies, what they call rain dance, where people used to bring on rain through the dancing, right? So
right.
it's not just so, dancing has very much turned into, in this very surface level, people think it's like all about doing Beyonce moves or stuff
Right.
like that, right? It's
Like
so much more than that.
footwork.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks cool. It does. I don't see my feet doing that, but
Yeah. I mean, trust me, I'm a dancer, but I can't even do half that stuff those people do too.
well,
And
thank
I'm
you
a
for
pretty good
saying
dancer. I'm a pretty good dancer, but those are the experts. But still, it's even so much more than that. But it is very sacred, it is very divine. And it also, like, tying into the abundance, that that's very much tied into, your confidence, your ability to be magnetic as well. through creating that vortex of energy around you and within you, just as you, through
Yeah.
the dancing, you start to really just know thyself more.
Right. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And I also agree that here, Rockstar M5 also says, yeah, and it's wonderful to be still. I feel
Yes.
that all things, no matter how high frequency they are and useful they are, all things when done in excess can be out of harmony for the person. Like
Mhm.
fasting has great uses. However, if someone fasts too much, it could end up being chronic issues on the body for the stressor point. And so for sure, yeah, I'm also still a little bit more than I ought to be, honestly. The
Yeah.
the
Yeah. There's, oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
you go ahead. You have excuse me.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I was just thinking, yeah, the terms of what was coming to me as he was saying, even the stillness, that's part of the dance as well.
Mm. Oh
And
yeah.
people don't recognize that. Is that even when you see certain dances where you see them slowing down and moving slow and even being in there, but it's still like a rhythm, it's still a movement, it's still because you're moving energy at that point.
Mm,
It's not even moving necessarily your body, it's still part of the dance of life. It's all
right.
part of it. That's the cycles. We're going to have times where we're moving and we're fast. The same thing with the weather or the seasons. We have the summer where people are more outside, in the winter where people are more hibernating. It's all part of the movement and the cycles, but the energy is still moving through
Yeah.
us,
Mm, yeah.
So it's all part of the dance, the stillness as well.
Yeah. I like that observation. It
Yeah.
reminds me a lot of so what I've started to do is I got into qigong a while back, of course, though the tai chi level of it has been like YouTube style, not
Mhm.
professionally or really,
Mm.
but like doing this has been very useful for me because if it's a dance and it's a slow enough motion in some cases that it does feel very much like you're being a still breeze, you
Yes,
know?
yes. I love the breeze. I'm Layla Wind, so the wind
Yeah,
can come in wild like a tornado, or like it can be a gentle caressing breeze. Exactly. Or
yeah,
you may not feel anything, but nevertheless, the air, the wind is still there.
yeah, yeah,
It still has a consciousness, right? Everything serves its purpose.
yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. As Joy Shares just said too, is that reminds me of room. Is it Rumi? I always feel like I'm saying this because I've read it so many times and very rarely said it out loud. Rumi quote I once saw that in order to dance, one must learn to be still, and in order to be still, one must learn how to dance.
Bingo. Love it.
Yeah,
And I love the 888 too, because that is part of actually what I teach in my divination is the power of stillness, because you have, in order to tune into the rhythms and to be that channel for the energy to move through you, you do have to be able to connect. And
yeah,
how else do you connect if you're coming in and you're overthinking and you're figure out, like, a lot of times when it comes to dance, the ego can creep in. How do I look? Or, let me show
yeah,
off my moves, or comparing yourself. I let people know, drop all the comparisons. We
yeah,
all have our unique signature. We all have our unique rhythm. But nevertheless, in order to tune in, we do have to be able to be still, to connect with our breath. All of that's connected,
yeah.
you know?
Wow. So, on a capacity of like someone reaching out to you to learn some of this, what would be the way that you would how would you how are you guided? Like, I'm sure it's different every time, but I wondered if you could give an example.
Yeah. So, in terms of guiding how to teach it, or where do I teach, or is that the
Yeah, like,
question?
well, how would you say, a person came to you and asked for, services from you? How would that look? Like, because you have so many modalities and are you guided by your guides, or does the person ask specifically?
So, typically, when I'm teaching these abundance sessions, it's at retreats.
Oh, cool.
usually at a retreat that I would host myself or specific events that I would do locally. I haven't yet expanded it to like my online community. That's going to be coming soon in due time. I think this year for me, again, being the number one year, and also the year of the horse that's coming up, all of those beautiful things. It's going to be a lot of groundwork going
Yeah.
on, laying those foundations to expand because people need these medicines. It may be on YouTube soon. So I've been contemplating that, but typically I love to do it in person.
Mhm.
And so when I'm hosting retreats, typically once or twice a year, or doing it locally here in Arizona. That's where I'm located.
The land
So
of the Hopi.
I love that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well,
Yes.
that's really fun. And so you've been a part of quite a few of these. I I feel like the reason I'm asking, I don't mean to be like if I if I'm making any sense, I don't mean to be asking the penetrating questions. I just you have such a versatile repertoire, and did it start like with dance or was it like I mean obviously you're experiencing awakening ascension symptoms or what there's things going on and you connected that they're linked though where and how did that happen I guess and when did it start to be what it is now.
Yeah, so I've always had a passion for dance, but again, I didn't know that of again the spirituality connected to it. I
Right,
my soul knew, but my little innocent childlike,
right,
human mind did not know until again the synchronicities of life. And I think ultimately it comes down to again following your passions, following your interests,
yeah,
because that will always connect the dots. And then again, also that combined and intertwined with just my innate ability to see past a lot of these illusions of the matrix of the world. I never was big on government, even schooling. Mind you, I was a straight A student, but I still wasn't big on school.
yeah, of
I
course,
was going to go be a doctor, but then after being in a program to go follow doctors and I could just feel again, it just did not feel like love. It
yeah,
did not feel like love. It felt very surface. It felt very cliquish. It didn't feel like unity. And I could tell, and I just knew I always wanted to help people, but I knew that was like not my lane. So again, all of these things helped me to connect the dots. And then
hmm,
till I finally just realized, like, you know what? I'm really good at helping people to go deep within themselves because I could see deeper than most people or a lot of people until I found like tribes like this and I realized, oh, there's more of us,
yeah,
there's more of us who think deep, right? So, yeah, I think ultimately what it comes down to is just learning to trust yourself
yeah,
and learning to and then that will help you know yourself. And just remembering that you are innately worthy of living the most beautiful, most miraculous, most loving life. And that's another thing. I've had a lot of miracles happen in my life that helped me. And it's interesting. It came through a lot of the pain, it came through a lot of the suffering, a lot of the turmoil. So, in a way, that helped me realize I was God's chosen one, but not an egoic chosen. Not that God is choosing me over anybody else. I was
right,
a chosen one because I chose,
yeah,
because you get to choose. We're all chosen ones, but you get to choose. Like when the more that you choose love over fear, the more that you choose integrity to the soul,
yeah,
not choosing to be loyal to our wounded ego. But again, it takes a lot of self awareness to realize that the more we do that, that is when the miracles happen. And that's when the right people come. It's going to take a lot of trial and error. And a lot of times it will require a lot of learning pains, growing pains, etc. But that's all part of the process.
yeah, it really is. And
Hmm.
what a time for it to happen too. I mean, we're in a really pivotal time here in the awakening journey for the collective experience. We have not even a year and a half before it's going to be that everyone that are going to be awake are going to be awake. So there's a lot to wake up right now that are waking up right now. And
Yes.
it's funny, Wade had pointed something out, and I was thinking this when you were talking. It's February 17th is an official the Chinese New Year. of the fire horse. However,
Mhm.
check this out, and this is really interesting, is that if you look it up, there's a discrepancy. There are if you go back to the old Chinese calendar, it's actually on the 3/3 portal.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
which is March 3rd.
Well, I'm more
So,
aligned with that date.
yeah, and there's so much happening on March 3rd this year. That's
Mm,
a total lunar eclipse. It's the blood worm moon. There's
mhm,
supposed to be several meteor showers. We're actually in the cloud or the path of Three Eye Atlas now. So,
mm,
but a lot of people for some reason. I haven't actually investigated it because I don't. It's science land and it's too political for me that I don't usually look
mhm,
that deep into it. However, some people are remarking that for one reason or another, they believe that Three Eye Atlas will be back, coming back to Earth around that time.
mm,
So, I mean, I don't know what science backs that up or doesn't back that up, but people who speak as a scientist in a public way, they usually have some kind of proof. They don't want to embarrass
mm.
themselves, kind of thing, right? So,
Yeah.
anyhow, so 3/3 portal is going to be a pretty big. Some things are going to be uh, coming down for us, energetically speaking, on that day. So, if you have
Yeah.
a ceremony you like to do, that would be a good day to do it wherever you
Oh,
are.
yeah.
Maybe like at abundance.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm definitely going to be working with the energy of fire that day. So
Yeah,
whether that's breath work, I also do, of course, yoga, and I teach kundalini, and we do a lot of breath of fire. So maybe I'll do some inner fire rituals to get the
yeah,
passion going and the fervor for this year.
that's a great idea.
So yeah, yeah, working with that, like that energy of because again, when you look at horses, when they take off and they're galloping, right?
Yeah,
They're running with the wind and they're just so free,
yeah.
right? We have to really be able to tune into our inner fire. And I would say a fire ritual would be good as well for all of us if we can, if that's what you're called to do, right? Of course, always listen to your own intuition, but I feel collectively working with the energy of fire
Oh, yeah,
and heart-based action as well.
yeah. Even if it's something as simple as a candle or
Mm-hmm.
burning a note or a letter of some kind, saying goodbye ceremony somehow with energy regarding fire. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Thank you,
Hey,
Joy. Just wanted to give Joy some love. I see her
yeah.
comment. Thank you. And
Share to
thank
joy.
you all. Thank you, Wade, too. Wade's always in the comments.
I think share to joy is Josh. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, it says Joy to share. Oh, okay. Sorry. Sorry, Josh. I thought your name was Joy.
I was actually considering if I was thinking because we have a really big spike of energy right now. I'm going to quickly show this because,
Yeah,
it
please.
helps to see. So let me get
Yeah.
you. Okay, so check this out, guys. This is the KP index, the current KP index now. Um, there we go. Click. So you can just see here. Wait, is it working? Can you see it?
Yep, I can see it.
Okay. Okay, good. I can only see my end. So, yeah. So this here is the KP index for right now. And the spike is up quite high. I'm going to actually go back to that screen so I can highlight it and show you. It's 4.667. When it gets to 3 is when people start to pay attention, which is way down over here. And
Mhm,
you can see the spikes that we've had today. We got up to a 6. Just wanted to point this out for anyone out there that are feeling kind of disruptive, like the energy is intense for them. And I want them, so you don't have to know so you can know that you're not alone, that there's some things going on right now to cause that kind of sensation,
mhm,
and this geomagnetic storm is what a result is. It results in, we got up to a G1 to a G2 geomagnetic storm, and we're probably going to get more. So,
mhm. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. You're the expert in all of this. I appreciate that because it makes sense why I woke up with bags under my eyes today and super fatigued.
I'm so tired too, man. Man, I'm
Mm,
there. It's not bad.
yeah. Yeah, it's not bad. Like I still had a lot to do today and I got it done because I'm a warrior like that. I'll get done what I got to get done, but I was
Yeah.
so fatigued today, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And lots of grounding practices that people are typically used to doing are not that available. Like most people are in Arctic weather right now. What would you do in that situation? What would you guide someone to do for if they're noticing? I would say more people than not are commenting that they feel the need to ground more. So how would you
Mhm.
ground? What would your guidance be?
If I was living in Antarctica in the
Yes, ma'am.
cold, breath, breath. You can take your breath everywhere with you.
Yeah,
You know, no matter what city you're in, what climate, you can always take your breath with you. So just breathing, being centered, silence, whatever you feel called. I always say ultimately go in, but for me, it's always connecting to the breath. I have so much gratitude for the breath.
yeah,
And just like really, if you don't know much about a lot of pranayama practices, just look them up. There's plenty on YouTube. You can read books. You can find lion's breath is also a really good one
yeah,
to just cleanse and release. And you just feel so much energetic empowerment from doing
yeah.
the lion's breath. You know, it's like where you stick, it looks crazy. It looks funny. You may feel very awkward and strange, but afterwards you're gonna feel like, wow, I needed that, right? You're gonna feel courage and empowered. So for me, it's the breath, any place, anywhere.
And then is lion breathing and dragon breathing very much are they're similar?
I
I'm
would say
curious.
similar in terms of intensity, but they are different.
I know
They're
the dragon breathing. That's why I don't know the lion's one.
Yeah, the lions is, I mean, I would display it here. It's kind of strange.
It's okay, you don't have to.
Not in the mood, but yes, yes, just look it up. But it's like where you're sticking your tongue out and you're breathing very, very deep and
Mm,
heavy, and you have an audible release with every exhale. It almost sounds like you're growling in a sense, like ah.
like the Maori.
Yeah, gave you a little bit of sample right there. But and it's also a position that you have to do with your hands. I'm not able to show you all right now just with the whole setup of that we have right now, but yeah, if you look up, like I said, even on YouTube, look up lion's breath and do that for 2 to 5 minutes. Very grounding, but also very empowering. And it'll help you get you through your day, especially if you're feeling a little bit all over the place.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It sounds similar to some of the indigenous sacred dances of the Maori people.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with them.
They you may not have seen there's been a lot of publicity recently because there's somebody on some type of I don't know, like political stage, but that has decided to rip a bill that they weren't going to sign. They have tattooing.
Oh, I have seen them. Yes. Now that you said that, I did see that where they
Yeah,
started speaking in their native tongue, and yes, it was in a parliament
and they're doing the
setting.
yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah, I seen that. Yeah, they were no joke. I
Yeah,
love that video.
me too. Isn't that great?
Yes,
And
yes. When you said
it
that, I was
felt
like, "Oh yeah, I do know them. They're powerful, powerful
yeah,
people."
man, I would love to have a cup of tea with somebody who has any of that kind of knowledge, you know what I mean? Like, but what
Mhm.
you described, the lion's breath, I kept seeing these yes, and then a lot of the sacred dances I've seen them do. See, I first discovered this cool dance because that parliament thing. However, like I explored further and like typically they'll have their knees bent and like their legs open in a way that's real that power stance. Like you'll
Uh-huh.
see a lot of tribal stuff like around a fire, indigenous groups of every kind to have, like well, it's like the root chakra connecting with earth. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, it's a grounding pose, and even in
Yeah.
yoga, it's similar to the goddess pose, what they
Yeah.
do in yoga, where your legs are out and your hands are out, and you're very grounded and you're centered, and yeah, yeah, absolutely. But then add the movement to it, and then add the native tongue. Now again, you're summoning powerful, powerful forces to work in your favor.
Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
And this is a sacred thing that's been passed down generations and generations. So, there's also similar moves and things that could work just as well as long as the intention is there. Like you were
That's right.
talking about with the abundance and
Yeah.
the other types of like, so like it's basically yoga and dancing, but in a place of joy, right?
Mhm. Oh, yeah, it's always joy, and then sometimes it's release, sometimes it's crying, sometimes it's processing the grief, whatever is meant to move, but it is all for the whole purpose of returning to joy, to returning to love, to returning to, peace and harmony on earth and within
Yeah.
self.
Yeah. Are you knocking? I think we just had an earthquake.
What?
Hold on.
Oh, yeah, we'll take a break.
No, I don't know what happened. My door just rattled off the chain. Not even
Wow.
it wasn't even her.
Maybe it's the spirit of the Maui people.
Yeah, maybe. We don't we're in I'm in Arkansas. We don't usually get earthquakes. In fact, it's kind of a joke because they don't ever get earthquakes. If there ever is one, it's like even if it's one, people like make a big deal about it. Something just
Mhm.
happened. That's fascinating.
That is fascinating. And it's like,
Excuse me.
again, that
Sorry about
energy of
like
movement. No, there's nothing to be sorry about. Like, that's kind of alert. I would have been alerted too. Like, what's going on?
yeah. It sounded like she was going like this, like with the, against the door and just but no, that wasn't her.
Wow. Yeah, I'm feeling like it may have been the spirit of the Maui people,
Yeah.
like that energy coming through.
And they're the indigenous of Tasmania, New Zealand area.
Oh, are they? Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, I think so.
Okay. Yeah. They look like Pacific Islanders too. They
Mm.
have that similar look. But yeah.
It's fun actually if you look over the world, you can see who are the descendants of the refugees of Atlantis and Lemuria.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, you go all over the world. It doesn't matter where you go. There's the face of that country, and then there's the locals of that country, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like the actual indigenous people of that region of the world. And it's really fascinating because like y- that's what an honor for them to all of the peoples of the world to be able to be connected in that way. And I'm just really I'm really glad that it's being re-preserved again because I mean it started back the earliest time that I was able to recount was it was I think the around the 900s. uh the Gaelic language was then marked as they called it the devil's tongue, and so you were forced to speak in Latin instead.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
this has happened through so many cultures, but doesn't it show you the power of the word?
Oh, yeah, the native tongue, absolutely. As we know, English is a language of spells and cursing, and it's an inverted language, and really all the languages are spells, but this particular language is very dense, and
Yeah.
it's also part of to keep us locked in,
Mm,
to keep us locked into this state of low consciousness, lower frequency, lower vibrational energies, so
mhm.
that way we can't think for ourselves.
Yeah.
It's very, very interesting. Yeah, it's happened to all cultures. Yeah, because our native tongue, our indigenous cultures used to know, and that we really know on a soul level, that type of language, that was very intergalactic, that was cosmic
Mhm.
language, that
Yeah.
was true language of light, of the
Yeah.
soul.
A universal language of sorts.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
And the throat chakra stuff that's happening right now, it does feel like it's a collective unbinding of the throat. I like that you're using a blue cup, by the way. I noticed.
I knew you were gonna say that. The blue cup, yeah. I love
And
that,
that's an
yeah.
example. Like if there's a useful air chakra, if there's a chakra that's being healed, or you could find use in bringing the qualities of that chakra up, it doesn't always have to be that you're eating or drinking something that's colored that way. Sometimes I can get the orange juice, and that's orange and yellow. It works for both
Mhm.
for me, but
Yeah.
then getting a container, like, here's orange. Again, I guess I'm doing a lot of orange today.
Yeah,
There's
I'm here
there's
for it.
there's cranberry juice in that one though, so that's red.
You're working a lot with that root. I'm
I
here
guess
for it.
so.
Yeah. So you're talking, but yeah, blue's my favorite color. So I'm
I like
usually always having some type of blue. Mm.
and the throat chakra activation stuff that so many people are having right now, um, I'm finding is connected directly, interestingly enough, to the sacral.
Uh-huh.
It's the orange again, and this is where your inner child lives. And you got
Mhm.
the orange behind you, so I feel like there's a link there. I actually didn't notice the blue and the orange until we said that.
Yeah, the blue, yeah, the orangey yellow. Yep, absolutely.
And so to me, that's telling us something, like reminding us that to use our throat chakra is to free the child.
Oh
And
yeah.
how many ways is that? Like it makes me feel like the little kid that has the hopscotch puck out in the front yard on the sidewalk with Chuck, playing games and nothing has to matter, you know,
Mhm.
remembering to
Mm.
play and to sing in your play in your day.
Mhm. And that's why children, most children, they talk and talk and talk and talk until they're told what? To shut up, be
Yeah,
quiet, right? By society, or you're talking too much, right? They're so inquisitive and they say what's on their mind too. A lot
yeah.
of them, they say what's on, it's like no filter. They're, even if it comes off to
Hmm.
society or politically rude or unnecessary, but they just saying what's on their mind.
Yeah.
It's a form of freedom. But yeah, it's connected to that, like you said, the sacral, because that also is connected to the emotions. And it's like learning to speak from an emotionally balanced place, in an emotionally empowered place as well.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
And to feel comforted, safe, and protected enough to be able to be that person, be who you are,
That's
knowing
right.
that you'll be embraced.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
We find ourselves as the arms of our mothers at this point in our lives and not realizing it. And when we
Mhm.
allow ourselves to cuddle, to nurture ourselves, then that part, that injured child part, can then be liberated and reintegrated again.
Absolutely. It's so powerful. Yeah. I love that. You said we're finding ourselves in the arms of our mothers again. That's really powerful.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm even getting like just learning to mother ourselves and in the arms of the great mother as
exactly.
well. Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
I've been getting a lot of this energy, this divine feminine energy that she didn't really give herself a name. I don't think, I don't know, but this is just what I call her now. It's just the All Mother because she
Mhm.
feels equal to the energy that I would call the All Father.
Yeah,
It just I use those words because no one else that I know uses those words, so there's no history there.
I'm
You know
here
what I
for
mean?
it.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's like very unique and very your signature. And I like that too. I like to be innovative.
yeah,
And yeah, I like to also, yeah, it's like you want to, again, going back to, you want to use your own voice.
yeah,
You want to use your own voice.
yeah.
I love that.
So if someone was looking to connect with you, they would connect with you through your website. Then your website has like ways to access these different things that you teach.
No, so mainly my website is booking if they want to do a one-on-one session with me because I am an intuitive as well. If, just any area of your life where you just need more clarity, you want to go deeper. Again, my specialty is going deep, is looking into the shadows, is addressing the covert and the wounded ego.
Yeah.
No matter how amazing your life is or how conscious you think you are or how spiritual you think you are. And not this, when I say think, again, you are spiritual, you are conscious, and we all have work to do. We
Right.
still all have deep work to do, right? And so, I'm really helping people to kind of see beyond, again, to see beyond the veils, to lift the veils, to lift the veils of the veils, even as well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The
So,
things that
yes,
we hide from ourselves.
absolutely. And that we don't even know we're hiding from ourselves because
Right.
it's a deep, deep programming. And so that's my lane. And then of course Instagram Chosen Goddess, you can get some inspiration there. And of course also my YouTube as well. I post now. I'm trying not no, I'm taking it back. I'm not trying to post. I am posting every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks this year. I'm being more consistent.
Mm,
Yeah, so if you want to check out my YouTube, Let Go My Ego, speaking of the ego, please check it out. There's a lot of beautiful wisdom, very practical advice, but also some of it can be very profound as well. Things that have helped me along my journey and just different awarenesses I've had to help share with the collective.
Gotta write that out there for them. I'm not
Thank
saying
you.
goodbye yet, unless you need to go. I was just I because I know I can feel that a lot of people people my throat chakra is really um
Look at
are
that clearing.
yeah, let go my ego.
Yes,
Um
let go my ego.
and that's at YouTube. So I'm just talking while I type. It makes it easier so I don't make a mess. Oh, and I spelled it wrong anyway.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, just let go my ego.
Anyway, that's not
Eggy, let go my
a
eggy. Let go my eggy.
bias. It's
That's
been a
funny.
busy day today. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, it has. Yeah. But we can stay on as long as you need.
there we go.
No, that's
Well,
good.
I actually do have quite a few more questions. I didn't want to usher you off, is what I mean. So that's
Oh, yeah, no. No, I have the rest of the evening for us.
okay.
So we're good.
Because I really resonate with a lot of the things we were talking about, but because it seems like a lot of people have been focusing so much of their focus on like open the third eye, open the crown, open the third eye, open the crown, and there's like this other part that kind of gets missed. And we always go back and we figure it out, though when we're in it, we don't realize what are we doing wrong. And right now there's so many people that I've seen habitually doing that are now noticing the reset of the energy when all the cords get pulled off like they are doing right now. And it's jarring because it feels like all of a sudden you're not an empath anymore for some people. They just have
Oh, interesting.
constant connectiveness and then quiet. Like,
Mm,
so I was I really feel guided to share you and your platform because you're very
mm.
supportive in this way and kind of helping people. And this
Oh,
this
thank
covert
you.
ego concept I feel is wrapped right around this whole thing.
Oh, yeah. I got a download, or maybe it actually, now I'm thinking about it, it was an upload actually, because we talk about downloads, but sometimes we're getting the upload
Yeah.
from the oversoul. Sometimes it's not coming from outside of us, sometimes it's coming from within. So now I'm tuning in. It was definitely an upload. But the duality and spirituality, right?
Yeah.
And that came up to for me a few years ago, and I was able to kind of see those nuances, if you will, and those subtleties that we seem to miss. Like when you say we're focusing a lot on the third eye and the crown, and again, all of that's beautiful. And I got the message that, descend to ascend. So an ascension as well. We talk about ascension, but there's the ascension. It's so I'm realizing that we're skipping so many steps in terms of in a way it is spiritual bypassing, and I get it because we get excited. We quickly want to channel. We quickly want to connect with all of our guides, but we don't realize a lot of times we are connected, but it's just not in the way again our egos perceive. We want to be able to see all these images or to hear or to have all these visions. Some people are really good. I know you're really good at that, Mela. Like you're a visionary. You can see all those visions. But I realize even with me, a lot of my connectedness comes from the claircognizance. It comes from the knowing. And again, to really know, we have to really also clear. We have to cleanse. We have
Right.
to purify ourselves. So what I always tell people too, and what I teach my clients is go back to the basics. We're trying to be ascendant masters, but we're really kindergartners in this, in this school of life. Even the most advanced, and trust me, I've seen this time and time and time again with people that you may think and deem to be so spiritually evolved, or so, if you think they're head of the curve, right? And it's not to say, it's not to take away from them. It doesn't mean that they don't have some form of expertise or mastery or knowledge. But then if you start paying attention and start tuning in, you'll start to see those nuances, and you'll start to see a lot of the veils becoming thinner and thinner and thinner, where you're able to say, okay, I'm seeing these gaps now. I've seen it so much in so many big spiritual places. That's why, honestly, you know, it's interesting. A lot of people are getting turned off by spirituality because of all this duality, all
Mm,
the new, all the nonsense that's going on. Because it's starting to lack. It's starting to, spirituality is starting to become like the new religion
yeah.
for many people. And I'm not saying us, of course. And thank God for spaces like you, Milla, because we feel safe here. But you know,
Yeah.
it's starting to feel that way. So I think, and what I also know is going back to the basics. Truly,
Mhm.
does it have peace? Is there inclusiveness? Is there integrity? Is there accountability?
Right.
Is there harmoniousness? You know,
Yeah.
is there a respect for everyone? You know, we got to
Mhm.
pay attention to those things,
Yeah.
because when we're not, when we don't, if we're too busy caught up in the conjecture, and we're caught up in what we think is so profound from a spiritual place, we start to miss what really this whole journey is all about. The whole
Yeah.
purpose of the ascension journey is to just go back to love and love each other.
Right.
That is it.
Yeah.
So, like, what are we doing all this for? You channeling for what? To still be in your ego?
Yeah.
No,
I can
thank you.
channel better than you can.
Oh God, my guides are more accurate, right? My guides are more accurate, you know.
I said it first. That's the one that I've been and hurry and click. They're gonna delete it. Something bad is gonna happen if you don't click me. Anytime any of that clickbait stuff happens, even if I
Oh
follow
my
that person
God.
for, yeah, I'm just done.
Yeah, that's fear mongering, right?
Yeah. Ooh, ooh.
I
Yeah.
hope what I said made sense. I was trying to,
No,
you know,
definitely.
put it together.
And
Okay.
you resonated with a lot of people in the audience. I don't know if you've been able to read the comments. It's hard to do while we're talking. I've learned to do it, but
Yeah, you're good at that. I'm sorry. I'm trying to pay attention, but then I was trying to get my words out. But
do it.
thank you
Yeah.
all. Thank you all. Thank you.
Yeah. And like just well said, Layla. And just a lot of people, I like this one too. Authenticity is magnetism.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Turple nurple.
Yeah.
Like that.
And Joy to Share 888 says, my guides are more guidey. Like,
They're
my
more
guides
guidey.
are more guided than yours are.
Yeah, it's turned into that, right? Where it's like, I know, and what resonates for me is like, it's kind of like, yeah, it has turned into like a competition. And
Yeah,
even when people say, like, oh, it's my truth, but their truth may not be your truth.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But also still learning and allowing people, not that we can disallow people, because we can't disallow people to do anything.
yeah,
But when we say allowing, we're really allowing ourselves to allow them,
yeah,
if so to speak. You know, allowing ourselves to allow them, like checking our ego to say, you know what, that's their journey. Whatever they feel is their truth. Allow it to unfold. Because one thing I know for sure is that whatever the highest truth is always going to be revealed anyway,
yeah. Oh,
even
yeah,
if we are out of alignment for a moment, or even if there is some confusion, or lack of clarity, or lack of understanding in a particular truth, it will be revealed. So we got to give each other a lot of grace.
yeah.
Yes.
And I feel like that people give it to each other give everyone else more rope than they do themselves, and they end up, it doesn't end up working out for anybody in the end of the day. And the thing is, here's the deal. We're all waking up, the whole planet. Like, it's
Mhm.
not just me and not just Layla. And if you click this video, if it happened through your world, it's happening for a reason. It's two
Yeah.
chicks talking about spiritual stuff, but
Yeah.
it comes to you on purpose. And it all comes out in the wash. Whatever it is that we're trying to hide, it always shows up. And so landing in your lap in this way is showing you where you are right now too. And
Absolutely.
as we guide ourselves through these moments, we get to see that we're in a world full of nothing but psychics. We're in
Yeah.
a room full of empaths who can feel you, who can hear what you're saying or stopping saying.
That's
When
right.
people hold a secret, that's like shouting a secret. And
Mhm.
so
Oh,
keep
yeah.
right. And so dishonesty is like a fart in a car. Everyone's gonna smell it. You
I
know?
know I know I do. I'll be the first to smell it. Like, roll down the windows.
Yeah, right. So you're the only one who's buying your own BS. So
Mhm.
why
Oh,
not
yeah.
just move up on past that BS and start playing, enjoying
Yeah.
yourself?
Yeah. Absolutely. But are they even really buying their own BS at this time? I mean, maybe we're cut from a different cloth, but even when I
Yeah,
unconsciously was in, we lied to ourselves, right? I didn't even buy my own BS. I was like, oh, you can't even lie to yourself.
yeah.
you know?
There was always a
You
part.
think, yeah, it always falls apart and you just don't feel good within self, doing that. You'll never feel
Yeah,
good. You'll never feel at peace, you
yeah,
never feel internally free. So yeah, that's what it comes down to. It's being true.
yeah,
And not performative too. Not performative. That's another
yeah,
thing in this spiritual we're learning and we're unlearning, right? And we're remembering it's going back to the beingness, not performing, not mimicking, not regurgitating talking points that we don't even know what we're talking about.
right.
Like one thing I realize is that it's so important to we're really tuning into like now the era as we're evolving in spirituality of just true knowing from experience, from
Yeah,
our own experience. If we don't really know for ourselves in terms of like our clairs being online, us getting direct divine guidance, whether that's an upload or a download
mm,
connected to our oversoul, whether it's visceral, embodied knowledge and information, if we're not getting that very clearly and it feels like I said, it feels like truth within your being, your entire beingness,
yeah,
and it's truth. If we're not getting that, then what do we really know?
yeah,
What do we really know? So I'm always staying open. I'm
yeah,
staying open.
yeah.
I'm willing to say, yeah, I know some things, but I also don't know a lot either. And I'm proud of that because that keeps
Yeah.
me open.
Yeah, it's very fun to it's freeing to do this too, because then
Mhm.
you're not, you know, what spirit keeps talking about, and it was something from before, but it's come back again, is this whole, everyone had trained themselves to be the banks of the river instead of the river itself. You're meant
Mm.
to flow, not to be a rigid, to attempt to control it,
Yeah, that's
and
powerful.
yeah.
Yeah.
And allowing yourself to be who and what you are at any given moment. There's been a lot of different conversations about this lately in my world. That's kind of funny. I just realized that. Where it's like people have understood a moment that they're in, and they've accurately depicted it in that moment. Though that moment's gone. And to hold on to any of that stuff is doesn't make any sense. It doesn't assist this moment,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
We merge timelines, and sometimes what we describe as what's happening right then turns out, Mandela effect or not, it's suddenly not happened that way.
Yeah, it's, they call it the Mandela effect, but we're really just tuning into the nature of the universe, the divine creation, whatever they want to call it. It comes down to like remote viewing or anything of that sort. That just goes to show how time does not exist.
Yeah.
How we can tune into whatever reality, based on our I don't want to say I don't want to say level of consciousness, but just our consciousness state, so to
Yes.
speak. You know, our state of consciousness. So yeah, it's just we're waking up. We're waking
Yeah.
up. We're alive, but we're also very much asleep, and a lot of us have been dead. And I even said this, I was telling my mom this when my sister passed away a couple of years ago, and we had a funeral, and a couple of people were there, and they just had very low vibrational energy, people in the family, right? To be expected. And I remember telling my mom, like, my sister's dead, but some of these people are dead,
Mm.
you know my sister's passed away, but some of these people are dead. So we're waking up, and we're also becoming alive again,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
just heard from one of my YouTube one of my favorite YouTubers earlier today too, how he said that, there's a saying that says some people die at 20, but they get buried at 70.
Yeah.
I thought that was a powerful statement. You're
Yeah.
dead at 20. That's how this world is set up for us to die. And when we say die, of course, it's not a physical death.
Right.
It's your death to self, death to your passions, death to your dreams, death to your ability to feel. Some people can't even feel.
Right. Right.
My goodness.
You said a lot. My daughter reminded me of this once, not very a couple of years ago. She was crying, just started crying, and
Mm,
I asked her what was up, and she told me that the kids her that her most kids that are her age already had forgotten who they were, and
oh,
that it's just going to get worse and worse through school for them. And
yeah.
then she said when they're 35, they'll start to pay for counseling. And by the time they're 45, they remember who they are again. But now they're old, which, but,
Right. And their
and
their little minds, that's old, right?
yeah. And then she said, and so when they're 45, they can finally start to be eight again because she was eight at the time.
Oh,
And
wow.
I don't know if I'll ever forget that because, I mean, out of the mouth of babes, but she was so right. And
Yeah,
she was mourning all of the people who were going to go for decades without knowing themselves due
yeah.
to
Mm,
assimilation or like, blending in and trying to make the part of you that you don't feel belongs in a group to die off. And it just, it's been a process of life for so long that it doesn't need to occur though,
it
this
doesn't.
process,
It
right?
doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah. God bless her heart. And
Yeah.
so that's what I'm talking about. Like the fact that she could pick up on that collective grief that she was feeling for, that compassion
Yeah.
for for the collective, like, wow, so many people, they're not going to be able to know thyself, if they're
Yeah.
able to know thyself in this lifetime, until maybe at their older ages, which
Yeah.
is okay too, because at the end of the day, but it is, I get it, from a human standpoint, it is sad.
It is.
It is sad. And I always say people who can cry and be in that shows me their purity.
Yeah.
That shows me their heart, that shows me their soul. So I appreciate it. I'm like, that's beautiful. The tears are sacred. The tears are so beautiful. So I love that about your daughter. That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah. She's amazing. I'm so
Mm.
blessed.
Aw.
And you got a little one too, a little wise sage.
Oh yeah, he will let every emotion out whenever he wants. It can be in a public place if he wants to scream. One thing about those autistic children, it's anything goes.
Yeah.
So and it doesn't matter where you are, what's going on, it comes out. And I can appreciate that
It's real.
authenticity. It's real, exactly. It's authentic. It's no performance. It's no we're here and it's a public setting, or it could be a I can be in a courtroom and Cairo will scream and run up to the judge and give the judge a hug. But that's what I'm talking about. It's like these beautiful babies are here to teach us.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my main when I was in the career world, as in the world of social work. I supported and assisted people with varying disabilities, and
Hmm.
most of the individuals that we assisted were in residential care, adult-sized bodies with, you know, I would say that um, this way is slowly finding its way out the door, though. This
Hmm.
archaic way, the way I was, walked away from that world because it was too archaic.
Oh
Like some
yeah.
of the things that were unfortunately part of that world.
Oh
And
yeah.
like, have you heard about the telepathy tapes?
No, I haven't.
It's this I believe it's a YouTube platform, but I think it's other ones is what I was thinking, but it's the discovery of the quantity of individuals who have, just like as Turple Nurple said, nonverbal autistic individuals that are suddenly showing they're teaching the world how to be telepathic because of this
Yeah.
is their core communication skill.
Yeah. That's why they're nonverbal. It's like
Right.
we're taught to like try to make them get them speech therapy, but it's like no, they're speaking another language.
Yeah.
And maybe we have to connect Turple Nurple because my son's about to be 11 in February 11th. My son's going to be 11.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah,
Big.
uh-huh, yeah. And so maybe we'll connect. And then the other lady, I believe her name was Shannon 333.
Shell shock?
Let
I'm
me see
50.
if we can go back. Yeah, shell shock. Sorry, I don't know where I got Shannon from. But yeah, she said, I'm 55. My awakening has been the last 4 years. Yeah, it's never too late. And that's the point. But, going back to what beautiful Mela was saying about her beautiful daughter, Maddie, it's just like she's still feeling like how some people will probably never wake up in this lifetime or at an older age. But nevertheless, what a blessing to
Yeah,
even wake up and be on this journey, right?
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I actually measured this one time. It was, and I used to get kind of a lot of jokes about this because I realized that between the ages of 32 and 35 is when people wake up.
Mm. Wow.
Usually, quote unquote, right?
Yeah.
It does, it varies. And I feel like that the younger generation are pretty much going to stay awake, at least on some level, not at like what we had experienced. But because of this, I wouldn't, and usually people call that midlife crisis. Midlife
Mm-hmm.
crisis
Yep.
is expected. All of a sudden, that person starts to behave profoundly different in mind and body. They get haircuts, they do things, meditating now or buying crazy cars, and like, and so I wouldn't date anybody that were younger than 35
Yeah.
because when I was younger than 35, that was like a not okay thing for a lot of people's viewpoints. But and that was the reasoning for it, though. And why I brought this up is that if you could take a society and all of the medicine women really come into their flower way, where they become the ascended, or not ascended, but the sage that they truly are. At that moment, that would be the best time to intervene with some type of chemical. And I'm saying that because isn't it fascinating that the vast majority of the people we talk to are women around or just after the menopausal window,
That's
which
very
is
true.
again that same age group, right?
That's a good observation. Yeah,
Interesting.
that's a good observation. What do you feel? What do you think about that? I want to hear what you have to say
I
about that.
feel like that, it's definitely through the process of menopause, an individual undergoes a series of body
Mm,
changes that feel sporadic, and with the pill mentality we've been given throughout, starting at a really young age, the Flintstone kid generation of America, like there's a lot
Oh
of us,
goodness. Yeah.
right? And so there's just been this thing that's been taught to us that if you take this, your solution will be found. And it led people to medicine cabinets of strangers' bathrooms and things too.
Yeah.
Though, I feel like that was to condition this response. Because
Mm,
isn't it interesting that the same things often, not always, a lot of the things that are given for people for regulating their hormone therapy through a menopause period, um, also are very similar, if not the same, as the same chemicals that they say shut off the God complex of the brain.
yeah. I mean,
You know,
it's by design, you know. It's definitely by design,
you thought
you
I
know.
was 20? Thank you.
It's all that inner child shining through. I'm here
Wasn't
for
I a
it, yes.
20-year-old child?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I know, right? If we really think about it, 20 years old is still a child, right?
Yeah,
It is really a child, and this human, because what did we know at 20? Not to say we didn't know anything, but 20, come on now, you're barely scratching the surface.
yeah, dude. I still had, yeah. I was still on a skateboard, you know?
You're barely learning what self-love is and all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
but
I
yeah,
was waiting to die.
oh,
I
go
thought
ahead.
21 was when I was gonna die, so I was waiting to die.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a lot. But that also shows, like, the level of consciousness, the spiritual maturity that needs to come. Like why your mind would even go there. Why would your mind even go there like I'm going to die? But
Right.
I understand because you went through so much.
Yeah.
Like a lot of us have, and that was around the time when you were having your near death experiences, right?
That was one of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think that was
Yeah.
the third one.
That was your third one. My
Yeah,
goodness, at
5.
20, 21. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Turple Nurple asked, she asked a question
I
about, yes, no, okay, I'm a man, but I have multi-level. Okay, that's good to know. For some reason, I was thinking woman. I'm a man, but I have multi-level spinal fusion. I had my awakening after my fourth surgery. It was a wild, interesting.
That does sound like a wild ride.
Yeah, could have been some kundalini going on there, especially dealing with the spine.
Mm.
Kundalini frequencies, but Turple Nurple had asked, I believe he asked, am I able to speak to my son without words? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, yeah. So the way I speak to my son without words is mother's intuition as a mom. But of course, you have that intuitive ability too. Like Mela was saying earlier, going back to that sacral, that's a big intuitive center for all of us, you
Yeah.
know. And they say we have that gut feeling, right? So yeah, I communicate through my son mainly through that gut feeling, gut intuition. So it's like I already know his needs without knowing his needs,
Yeah.
what he wants and what he's desiring. And I just pick up on that just through his energy, through even the type of cry I hear, the type of, what he's emitting, what his frequency is of the day. So I just pick up on that and yeah, provide where necessary. But my son, he loves, he's Aquarius, so he loves humanity, he loves people, he wants to be out and about, he wants to connect. So I
Yeah.
try to, even though I'm very introverted, but I still try to create an environment for him, even though it's mostly us and we homeschool at home, but I still do it. I still let him feel like there's some type of community as much
Yeah.
as possible.
Yeah.
Even if that's a digital community, I
Yeah.
let him know like, hey, you're here, we're connecting with the world some way, somehow. So I pick up on that intuitively. And also just realizing he loves human connection. So
Yeah.
he's really my best friend. Yeah.
We should have a kiddo chat again. You know what? We did this a little while ago, and there was interest, and then it fell away because it's not like the regular Zoom meeting that we do for everybody else, because it's for kids. So I need
Mhm.
to know you before I'm going to give you the link. Like,
Ooh,
like
yeah.
I need to like have seen you and talked to you in some way. Like I'm not gonna randomly say yeah, you know.
Oh, yeah, yeah, because, our children are so, those are our precious babies, so we
Yeah,
gotta keep them safe for
right.
sure.
And so if that is something that um you guys are interested in, and maybe Layla and maybe our kiddos can at least have a Zoom meeting together sometime. I think that would be something.
Oh, yeah, that would be fun, yeah,
Yeah,
Cairo would love that, even if he's just there, speaking gibberish.
right.
He'd be happy just to be included, part of
Yeah,
something.
I think that'd
Yes.
be awesome. If anyone is interested in joining something like that down the road sometime, like just maybe reach out and let me know. You know,
Yeah.
that would be. I have a laugh like a little kid. I love that. That's true about me. Thank you so much.
Mhm. Yeah,
I
it's so
I
cute.
love the idea of being able to stay young forever, though
Mhm.
youth really doesn't have a lot to do with wrinkles. I actually thought
Mhm.
of that the other day. I'm like, I don't really have the wrinkles that my younger siblings do. And
Mhm.
I there's not that I was mourning it or anything, but there's part of me that was like, I would be proud of my wrinkles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have
Oh,
some. I have
yeah.
some. Don't worry. You just can't
Yeah.
see it because that I don't know why. Not as much
Yeah.
as I can anyway.
Yeah, yeah. We hear that in the spiritual, again, that duality and spirituality where people say you're reverse aging, but they
Yeah.
think you're about to go back to, looking like a teenager or something.
Right.
But the
Right.
thing is, I feel like that's where our egos get caught up in. It's like you said, it's beautiful to age or so-called age or to get older or whatever because we are in these mortal bodies. We're going to transition. We don't want to be here forever. We
Yeah.
want to ascend and eventually get out of the carbon physical realm.
Yeah.
But what I will say, what I did get from this, what I was picking up on this intuitively, there is a degree of like slowing down the
Mm,
so-called aging process,
right.
and where we can get some of our youthful, if you're talking in terms of the physical, yes, well, we can get some of our youthful physical, well, we more vibrant, but it doesn't mean like you're going to start looking like a 17-year-old,
Right.
or
Right.
anything like that. It's just embrace, because this is part of the human journey, but it will slow down as our DNA is upgrading. We're becoming more crystalline, more silica
Yeah.
as well, going from carbon to silica. We will be experiencing yeah, youthfulness, but like you said, not so much in just the physical, but in the spirit.
Yeah.
It's in your spirit and how you approach life and being lighthearted. And that alone, because everything is connected, everything is energy, that changes your cells, that changes your DNA, that changes your blood. So yeah, of course you're going to look youthful. You're like naturally regenerating yourself. It's a
Yeah.
regenerative process. So yeah, that's more of what it is rather than like, your ego saying, I want to look 16 again. Like, no, you're still gonna look like you and however old you are, but just more radiance, more
Yeah.
youthful, more beautiful, better skin, things like that, better skin, no matter what the age, more vibrant eyes, whiter, cleaner teeth, things like that, more lustrous, thicker hair. All of those things are very true once we start getting in higher alignment.
Right. And some of these visions I've seen are also of a time when humans do in some way kind of halt their aging process around the age 25.
Mm,
And that's something. You said something. I've just happened to grab this earlier today. The real reason hair is so powerful is because the key mineral found in hair is called silica, which is one of the main compositions of quartz crystal. It acts as an antenna that is able to transmit and receive frequencies. And
mhm.
you just happened to, because for those in the audience who don't know that is this really powerful crystalline energy that we're talking about,
Yep.
element.
Our hair is our antennas for sure.
Yeah.
They're receptacles.
Right. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why sometimes we feel like we want to have it down, and sometimes it feels important to have it up.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll notice that when I'm doing some like big, what I would call big meditations, like it's a powerful day, we're using the powerful energy, and I'm feeling it through my body like a quaking before we even start. I need to put my hair up.
Yep,
Make the
absolutely.
antenna bigger. It works. It's easier, right?
Yeah, you go with what the mood or the energies call for the day. Yeah, I felt like a little bun, something simple and cute, but I felt this royal energy and this
I love it.
regal energy. So that's why I have the bun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And just go with it is what I was saying too. And everybody knows. It's just that we don't always follow those instincts. We think
Hmm.
we spend too much time in the head part of it, right?
There you go. I love that. Yep. Too much in the head. Be in the
Yeah,
heart.
too many minds, spirit will say. Too
Hmm.
many minds. And that actually looks, it's kind of cool. A person's auric field kind of looks a little bit gray. And then it looks like a overlapping, like composition composites of like, so if I had a whole bunch of these and I went like this together, like,
Mm.
but spread them out just a little bit, that's what somebody who is like erratic and distracted and thinking of too many things at the same time, they're spread out. It creates a gray in their aura field.
Oh, okay. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's interesting. Yeah, it's all connected. Makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's well. I think we've actually gone over an hour. So,
Yeah.
is there anything else that you want to? I feel like that we just again. I don't feel like I really. I hope that we presented some of the awesome things that Layla Wind can do. And that if
Yeah.
you're interested in connecting with her, there's her website, www.godisagoddess.com. I think I spelled that right, but I'm not so
You
trusting.
did. Yeah, you
Okay.
did. You did great. Yes, godisagoddess.com.
All
They're one
right.
and the same.
Right.
We need that divine masculine and divine feminine. It's all one part of the one divine. Absolutely. Yes, connect with me there if you would like to book a reading or just and be able to go deeper. This is if you really need some true clarity in your life or true help. And I just really help you go within, and I do offer a discount of 33% off for new clients.
Ooh,
So if you're a new client, it's 33% off. And yeah, I would love to connect with you. And again, my channel, Let Go My Ego. And then Instagram is if you just want random inspiration. And occasionally I'll put my events there as well.
awesome. Wow. Well, thank you so much for this awesome. They call it monkey mind. Oh my gosh, don't get me started about the monkey mind. I love these topics. If I actually truly responded to every comment, we would be talking for 12 hours if no one wrote anything else starting from now. You know what I mean? Like
Like
there's so much
seriously.
wisdom that comes through these doors. I just really appreciate all of you for tuning in, for connecting, and for being a part of this beautiful group. I am so honored, and I feel
Mhm.
privileged to be in this space with everyone. So I just want to say
Mhm.
thank you to everybody.
We're so privileged and honored to be with you. We love you, Mela. So thank you so much for your love and your peace and your wisdom and your beautiful inner child looking 20.
Look at that's right.
Woo! Yes. Love
Well,
it.
thanks once again, and for sure we'll have Layla on again. I'm sure if you're interested in being on the show with me at some point, the contact information is in the description of this video, and I look forward to seeing you again all really